So the first thing I'm going to do is prime my lids, and I'm using Max Extend Eye Base. And I've already done my foundation, but I do have some full tutorials with my foundation routine. So today for my eyes, I'll be using Anastasia's Renaissance Palette. So the first thing I'm going to do is take the shade Raw Sienna, and I'm going to use this as my transition shade, and I'm applying this with a MAC 224 blending brush. And since we're doing a smoky eye, I always like to add a little bit of warmth to the look. So I'm going to take the shade Realgar, and I am just applying this on top of the transition shade, and I'm blending it upwards. Next, I'm taking the shade Cypress Umber, and I'm applying this directly into my crease with a blending brush from e.l.f. And then I'm going to switch brushes, and I forgot what brush this is, but I'm just packing that same shade onto the lid. And you can do that with any type of dense shader brush. Then I'm just taking a clean blending brush and blending everything out. Next, I'm taking the shade Red Ochre with that same blending brush, and I'm applying it into the crease and blending it upwards. And this is a really warm, sultry smoky eye, so I wanted to add a little bit of color just to intensify it. Next, I'll be using the shade Primavera with a MAC 239 brush, and I'm using this to highlight right under the brows, and then I'm just blending it out. And you only need a little bit because you don't want to overdo it. Now I'm just going to line my eyes, and I'm using NYC's liquid eyeliner, but I'm using a MAC 209 brush just because I don't like the applicator that comes with that liner. Now I'm just adding some mascara, and I'm using the Diorshow Blackout Mascara, and I'm also going to apply my lashes, which I did off camera. And these are the Grace Mink Strip Lashes from GraceBeauty.com. Now I'm just brushing off all of that excess powder, and I'm also blending everything out with MAC Mineralize powder in the shade Dark. Then I'm going to take MAC Mineralize Skinfinish in the shade Dark Deepest, and I am going to contour with this shade. This is also an angled contour brush from MAC. For blush, I'll be using my favorite, which is MAC's Sweet as Cocoa, and I'm just applying that right above my contour and blending it upwards with a Real Techniques brush. Now for my highlight today, I'm going to be using Anastasia's That Glow Kit, and I'm using this fan brush from Sigma, and I love this brush to apply my highlight. And I started with the shade Dripping in Gold, and then I'm just going to take the shade Bubbly just to intensify it a little bit more. And then I'm going to apply it pretty much everywhere that I've highlighted, so on my chin and also my forehead. And then I'm going to take a smaller blending brush and apply it right to my Cupid's bow. And then I'm also going to take that shade down the bridge of my nose, and this is really going to help intensify the contour. So to contour my nose, I'm taking a blending brush, and I'm using the same shade, which is Dark Deepest and MAC Mineralized powder, and I am contouring my nose with that. And I also like to bring that color into my eyes, so just blend that in. For my lower lash line, I'm taking a pencil brush, and I'm using the shade Venetian Red, and I am also going to darken it a little bit more, so I'm going to take the shade Cypress Umber, and I'm applying that right on top. And of course, to line my eyes, I'm using Urban Decay's Glide On Eye Pencil and the shade Perversion, and this is my absolute favorite eyeliner. Then I'm taking the shade Dripping in Gold from the Glow Kit, and I'm applying this to the inner corners of my eyes. And then you just want to add some mascara to your bottom lashes. For my lips, I'll be using NYX's Lingerie Liquid Lipstick in the shade Beauty Mark, and it's just a really nice brown shade, and it's perfect for fall. And it's kind of like a suede consistency more than a liquid, so I did find that I needed to apply more than one coat just to get the actual color. And I also think the formula is a little sticky, but I do love the color. It's a really, really pretty color. And that is it, guys. So thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. And if you guys have any tutorial suggestions, definitely leave them in the comments below. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.